We are holding out for Coach Autry. I won't talk about James Taylor or washcloths today, Steve.
Good.
You want to talk about washcloths?
No, thank you. No, I'm over it. I think we talked enough about washcloths yesterday that we do not need to bring up that conversation again.
Okay.
So we're waiting here on Coach Autry, but this is a Syracuse team that's 7-3. Non-conference schedule is winding down, and again, they've got 3 losses. All the teams ranked in the top 25, and they've taken care of everybody else. And I think so far you would look at this as certainly a successful non-conference schedule. They've got 2 left. They've got Oregon on Sunday, and then next week they host Greg Paulus and Niagara on Thursday, Paulie.
Adrian Autry is brought to you by Oswego County Mutual in Labatt, USA, and I will not ask Coach Autry about washcloths, Steve.
Excellent. I'm going to hold you to that as we bring on the head coach of the Orange. And, Coach, it's great to talk to you. I know the focus is entirely on Oregon at the moment, but I do want to look back, if we could, on your last game. It's a good win. You go down to Georgetown. It was a close game at the half, and then, the guys played awfully well there in the second half. Your takeaways from that win over the Hoyas?
Yeah, I think you summed it up really well. I thought we battled in the first half. I thought we had a chance to kind of create some separation, but we couldn't score. That's how it goes sometimes. And but we stayed in it. We battled in the second half. Still a battle. We answered every call. Every chance they made every chance they tried to make a run, we answered, and then we finally pulled away at the end. But I was very proud of the guys, to go down and win on the road. It's always hard to win on the road, and to go win on the road in a place that we haven't won in about 5 or 6 years was really I was really excited about that.
How do you bottle up that J.J. Starling and get him to come back and play every game like that?
You know what? We're working on it. No, he, it's funny when you work with people and you see people every day, what he did, we have been seeing that in the gym. He just hadn't got it rolling like that as far as in a game so far this year. So, it was just a matter of time. I think I said that on last week. I wasn't really worried about JJ because I see it every day. It was just a matter of time of him, coming in and stepping in. And he picked the right game to get it going, too.
Yeah, you did say that last week when we had you on. You said, don't worry about JJ. And then he comes out and drops 21 and, doesn't miss a 3 and obviously played great. There were a couple other standout individual performances in that game. We got to talk about Quadir Copeland. And I'll be honest with you, Coach. Like, coming in the year, I didn't really know, from the outside looking in, exactly where he fit into the picture. But he comes on, he does a lot of good things, and he certainly earns his time, doesn't he? I mean, what does he bring to the table for your group?
I mean, I think you said it. He does a lot of good things. He's a basketball player. He's really good. He's tough. He gets after it. He loves to compete. And he's just kind of scratching the surface. He's improved. He made one of our biggest jumps over the summer. And it hasn't. You haven't been able to see it yet in the game, but he is shooting the ball better. He's really made strides on his shot. But I think he's just grown into his role. He accepted his role. He knows what his role is, and I just asked him to go out there and be him. Be him. Sometimes.
Oh, we lost Coach.
Coach, I think we lost
I'm
you.
back.
Hopefully we can. We got you.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
I was just talking about Quadir. I just said, I just asked him to go out there and just, kind of be him. Be aggressive, make plays, make things happen. He's a really good basketball player.
With him being him, Coach Saddleton always says on the broadcast, something's going to happen when Quadir Copeland's got the ball in his hand. You don't know if it's going to be good or bad. How, as a coach, do you stay patient for that?
It's tough. It's tough. It's tough. But I think as a coach, as certain things you kind of you understand, but it's just certain turnovers or certain things that happen you don't want to live with. But it's certain things you're going to have to live with, and until he grows and matures in certain aspects of his game. But the biggest thing is that whenever he does something, he's trying to make up for it. He's not holding his head down. He's going to get right back after it.
And he's going to be ready to play whenever his number is called, and that certainly holds true with Monir Hema, who hadn't played a whole heck of a lot through the first part of the season. You called his name on Saturday against Georgetown. He went in there and made the most of his time, made an impact, and I would imagine that was a pleasure for you to see a guy who hadn't been playing a lot, but he got an opportunity and then he made the most of that opportunity.
Oh, yeah, that was Monir at his best. I was so happy for him. Again, it's been tough for him and, tough for me to try to get a read on him, try to put him in a position to go out there and help us and be successful. Sometimes it's just, it's my call. But I thought going into the Georgetown game, I thought that this would be his opportunity to come in and help us. And I told him, stay ready. I think, this game right here is made for you because of Supreme Cook was a physical guy. And he stayed ready. And I was just proud of him. That's not easy to do, to stay ready, because you don't know if you're getting in the game or not. And obviously he's had some games where he didn't play, but he stayed ready.
Players are going through final exam week right now, and you're obviously getting ready for a big game on Sunday against Oregon. Can you kind of take us through this week and how you handle that as a coach? As the guys are finishing up their semester, but you're also getting ready to play a really important game. And can you, I guess, walk that balance of letting them concentrate on their studies, but also focusing on basketball when you've got them in front of you for a couple of hours?
Yeah, I think to begin the week off, I thought they earned that day off. We had played 9 games in November. And then, turned, as soon as the calendar turned, we were right back on the road against Virginia and then against Georgetown. So I thought, we needed a break, and obviously it came at the right time. So, I gave them a day off, and, and just I thought that was really beneficial for them. But, just kind of working on us. Practices are still the same, but, trying to be mindful of their workload. So, they don't come in until practice now, and, instead of any of that extra stuff that we would normally ask them to do, we just ask them to concentrate on their studies right now and finish up the semester strong.
All right, let's look ahead to this game on Oregon, against Oregon out in South Dakota. We have a couple viewers in our chat section at qsportstalk.com asking how this game came about. Can you touch on how this game came about and the challenge of flying halfway or 2/3 of the way across the country to go play this game against Oregon?
Hello.
Yeah, we got you now. Yeah. Sorry, Coach.
Sorry.
It looks like you froze there for a second, but we got you again.
I inherited the game, but, I think the thinking was when we made the schedule, and Coach was a part of this, is that we would have this core group of guys back. So I think we wanted to go out and kind of challenge ourselves. I think as you look at the landscape of college athletics and college basketball, you got to go, and the non-conference is important. So now, they really are pushing you to go challenge yourself and play some games. And we thought this was a good game to play. At first it was really supposed to be Baylor, and then they couldn't make it. So now it's Oregon, 2 good opponents. But we wanted to challenge ourselves with the schedule that we had this year. I think everyone can tell, this was a really, really challenging schedule. But it's exciting time, and I think, I think the kids like it. It's good for the fans. I think it helps you as you go into league play.
It's a team that's 7-2. They beat Michigan in overtime. They beat Georgia, so they've beaten some Power 5 opponents. Did lose to Alabama in an early season tournament. What stands out to you about this Oregon team as you get set to play them on Sunday?
Their coach, Dana Altman. I mean, he's an offensive coach. His teams have always been good. I don't think he's had a losing record. I'll be shocked if he has, but he's a really good coach, so they'll be prepared. Offensive talent, they have 3 or 4 or 5 guards that can all shoot it, make plays. They have a couple of guys out, but we don't know if they're going to be ready for not some of their big guys. But even if they don't have them, just an explosive offensive team that can really score the ball on all 3 levels.
What do you make of your non-conference schedule to this point, Coach? As we were talking as you were coming on, that your 3 losses are all the teams ranked in the top 25, and you've beaten everybody else. Do you feel good about where you guys are right now with the non-conference winding down?
I thought we responded well. I think those games, you take take halves away. And that's the only reason why I would say, I felt like this schedule has helped us. If we just didn't play, good at all in any of those halves or any of those stretches of those 3 losses, then I would probably be a little bit more worried, so to speak. But I thought we showed well and played well in some of those games. Again, not more victories, but we're building something, we're doing something new. So I like where we're at. I think we continually get better. I thought the last game was really huge sign of improvement, and we just want to keep moving forward and carry that over until the rest of the non-conference.
All right, so Oregon Sunday 1:00, and then Niagara to close out the non-conference schedule on Thursday. That's a 5:00 tip now. The tip time changed due to the football game that night. Coach, best of luck on Sunday against Oregon, and we'll hear from you tonight, right, with the Coach Autry show.
Yep. Look forward to it. Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you.
Is out at Carrabba's and on TK99. That interview is brought to you by Oswego County Mutual in Labatt, USA.
All right, our thanks to Adrian Autry for joining us here on the show. We'll hit a timeout. When we return, we'll get to our SOS house call. Dr. Ryan Smart joins us next on ESPN Radio.